everyone, my name is Ann Ricketts with Lighthouse Communications, and today I want to talk about some ways that non-native English speakers can make more of an impact in their meetings. And this is a really important topic because we spend a lot of time in meetings at work. It's where critical decisions get made, and it's also where people will form an opinion of your professional expertise. So you definitely want to put your best foot forward. But it's also really hard because people are speaking quickly, they're talking over each other, and you have to first of all figure out what's being said and then say something in a language that's not your own. So it's really, really challenging. So today I want to give you 6 tips that can help you be more confident and credible in work meetings. So the first tip is to prepare before. So you want to look at the meeting agenda. If there's not a meeting agenda, request for one, and really think about what topics might be raised during the meeting and what your opinion is. Also, if you're meeting with people who you don't know very well, take a few moments, look at their LinkedIn profile and find out some information about them so you'll know a little bit more about their background before you get in the meeting. The second tip is to write points down. And this is a continuation of the preparation process, but is so important for your confidence. Because something that I hear all the time from my students is that they just can't get in the conversation fast enough. You know, by the time they've thought about how to grammatically structure a sentence, the meeting's on to the next point. So if you have some things already written down that you want to say, it's going to make it much easier for you to jump in the conversation. And I know that you don't always know what's going to be said in a meeting, but let's say you write 5 things down, you'll probably be able to use at least 1 or 2 of them. And if you write things down before, it'll also help you listen more easily because you're not going to be thinking about what you're going to say. You can just listen to what others are saying. So that's really, really important for your success at meetings. The third tip is to speak up early. So the longer you wait to say something in a meeting, the harder it's going to be for you to get in there. First of all, you're going to get nervous, and that's going to build because you're going to be thinking, I haven't spoken yet. And so just make your presence known early on. Ask a question, make a relevant comment, show people that you're in the game, and that's going to make it much easier thereafter. So speak up early. The fourth tip is to observe others. So find someone who you think is really good in meetings, someone who makes meaningful contributions, and watch and learn from them. For example, what phrases do they use to interrupt people? Or what phrases do they use to disagree with people or agree with people? And take down some notes. Also, maybe they use body language that's really effective, and you can mimic them and make it your own. The fifth tip has to do more with a mental shift, but is also really important, and that's to realize that people want to hear from you. So there's a reason that you were hired at your company. It's because you have knowledge and expertise that people need. So don't worry about your English in the moment. Of course you want to take classes and do all that you can to improve your English, but in the moment, just get in the game and know that people don't really care if your English isn't perfect, but they will care if you're not speaking up. Also, something that I like to think about is you can imagine your coworkers in your country, like China, and imagine them trying to speak Chinese in a meeting, right? Not very likely. So just know that you're your own worst critic. The sixth tip is you want to learn language for interruption. So again, I mentioned this earlier, but one of the hardest things to do in a meeting is to interrupt people because people feel awkward about that. So what you want to do is have points written down, as I mentioned, know what you want to say, and then at the appropriate time, use phrases for interruption. So here are some phrases that you can use to interrupt. First of all, you can just say, "Can I interrupt you for a second?" Or, "I'd like to add something here." You can also say, "I have something to add for that." "Can I stop you there for a moment? And can I say something here?" These are all very acceptable phrases for interruption. Also, let's say you didn't quite get into the conversation fast enough and now it's moved on to another point, but you really, really want to say something about an earlier point. Don't worry, it's totally acceptable to rewind the conversation and add something. Now, if the CEO is in the room or there's 100 people in the meeting, maybe you don't want to do that. You use your judgment. But here are some phrases that you can use to backtrack the conversation. You can simply say, "Can we rewind for 1 second?" Or, "Going back to what Andrea said, I'd like to add something to what Andrea was saying earlier. Can we go back to blank topic?" So finally, these are all the tips, but I just want to leave you with one consideration. A lot of you guys are doing meetings via video chat or on the phone. And this is even more challenging because you're not in the room to see the facial expressions and read the body language, especially if you're on the phone. So here's the thing, all the tips that we talked about apply for these kind of meetings as well, but you just need to be even more prepared and know that any language challenge you have is going to be magnified, especially on the phone. So, for example, if you have challenges with pronunciation, you really want to speak slowly, speak loudly, speak clearly, and pause often and ask people if they're following you. If you have trouble with listening comprehension, what you can do is put away the distractions, put away your cell phone, put away your laptop, and really focus on what's being said. And then don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you don't get it. Ask for an example, or you can ask somebody the meaning of a word if you feel comfortable, or you can paraphrase if you think you understood. You say, I think you're saying this, is that right? Those were the 6 tips to make more of a contribution in meetings. So I want to leave you with this final thought, and that is preparation equals confidence equals contribution. In other words, the more you prepare for your meetings, the more confident you're going to be and the more of an impact you can make. Thank you.